Welcome back. Here's where you left off. Spoilers ahead for chapters 11 through 14 of Convergence, Book 5, Desperate Measures. So both Kaz and Theo are recovering from their injuries, but Theo seems to be in the more interesting scenario where he's voluntarily gone back to the Order here. And we have a whole conversation between him and Uncle Marcel. Did I say that right? Uncle Marcel.
That's correct.
And we, these chapters were sort of what I call a bridge chapter. Nothing too crazy happens in it. We get some banter. We get some people going back and forth. The one thing I was sort of surprised when reading it was we didn't have any Annie involved in it. I kind of expected her to come back out and be like, don't ever do that again. And we didn't kind of get that. I was kind of expecting that. How did you feel about it?
Well, to be honest with you, I wasn't very surprised or shocked that Annie wasn't really yelling at anybody, right? Mike and Isabel did more of the yelling, but at the same time, Kaz is like, guys, think about this. I did the work and you didn't. It's like part of our conversation last episode that the more people are yelling are more Isabel and Mike rather than Annie. Annie, I had a feeling Annie was just going to be disappearing anyway. So she's her relatives. I can't even pronounce it anymore. Her stature for this. I'm using the wrong words here, but her thing in this reading assignment is very low, right? And I'm more interested about Theo's power. It's like what I said in the last episode that Theo was book smart versus practical smart, right?
Practical skills, yeah.
And you can actually see it because when Kaz was in shackles, he can use the magic around him, but Theo, he can't, right? This is when it gets very interesting, right? So, plus at the same time too, they even said as well too that the Knight and Kaz is recovering a lot faster than anybody else, and Theo is not recovering. He's in pain. He's beaten up, right? And it took him a while to be alert again. So we're talking about they're supposed to be half brothers, but I have this feeling that Kaz got the better deal overall compared to Theo. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting how this is actually being portrayed between both of them, and the resources itself, and how Theo burned his bridges and he tried to recover that bridge so he can reuse them again, and also the lack of knowledge of the Nether is very. You can see it, right? Well, the first question I have is, did you believe that Theo is dead at all? No. He just got blown up. So
yeah, blown up. Yeah,
he's not. Yeah, I wasn't in mind that he was dead. No, there's no way. So he's alive. He couldn't find a body when Cass fell from the tower itself. He's still alive. He didn't see any body. No one saw the body until they actually went through it again to make sure. But we knew going into this that he's going to be still alive. There's no way they're going to end Theo's life this way because there's going to be some headbutting here, right? So, were you believing that he was dead?
Not for a solitary second. Kaz is all like, he's dead, he's gone. I'm like, no way. No freaking way is he dead. I'm not buying it, Craig. No way. No freaking way that's going on here. There's not for 1 second I bought that. The thing I did enjoy though is having Kevin actually do something here, get a little fresh air, as it were, as this dude goes and gets him and runs around and doing that. I love Kevin. He's great. I mean, it's funny how we get all these kind of unique characters between Azib and Kevin and Duke and all that. And I think, Theo, you have no concept of the gang that he has. Like, he has a freaking ogre. You don't have anything. Like,
I think that was the point, though.
You have Jenkins there, you know.
I think that was the point, though, because like we said in the last episode, that Kaz has resources that Theo doesn't have. Theo was literally working this. He had to make his own resources, his own people. He has Jenkins there to help him, but he doesn't have people that's willing to help him willingly, right? So
he still doesn't have, like Theo doesn't have it, right? He doesn't have the knowledge that Kaz does in experience. As you say, he's book smart. But in a way, just because he read something doesn't mean that he hasn't practiced it. Kaz has gone out, he's done the grunt work, where Theo just stands back and creates a fireball and goes, look how great I am. You know,
look at me, I can make fire. No, I agree with you. Theo is definitely a very smart wizard. But as a wizard, there's always a niche on this, and Kaz has his own special niche, and Theo has his own special niche. So for them sort of going in battle like that, Kaz has already said that he felt the power. It's not even being drained from him. He was surprised because Theo told him that you're not going to have, there's no way for you to use the ability because you're in shackles. But next thing you know, he felt that he can actually use it, right? And next thing you know, he blew the whole place up and Theo was flying over. And next thing you know, I was like, oh man, I did not account this. I thought I was more powerful than Kaz, but no, Kaz is actually way more powerful than me. He even said to Uncle Marcel, I was like, dude, this is fucked up, man. So
I don't know if Theo thinks that Kaz is more powerful than him. I just think that he thinks that Kaz had a little more, had a trick that he doesn't know, and he's obsessed with learning the trick because he wants to have all the power and because think about it, in his mind, if he's the biggest baddie wizard around, Kaz doesn't matter when the gods come. Right. But if Kaz knows more than him, he becomes the lesser wizard, and he knows that he has to be the top dog to sort of have his whatever fantasy is about getting his way and so forth and so on. And even the Order has that same mentality. The Order is like, we will be here to give them whatever they want so that we can survive in some bizarre Knights Templar thing, which I think is really becoming a lot more twisted now than originally, when I thought, oh, it's kind of interesting. But I don't know if it's as interesting now, simply because the motivations that the Uncle Marcel talking about his son and so forth, I don't know if those motivations are still as, we'll say, pure. Does that make sense?
Oh, it does make sense, because we're actually learning more about the Order. You remember we had this like a few books ago that we need to know more about the Order. The only thing we know is there's an old Knight Templars. It's a family-run business. That's the best way to describe it. And you have power struggles within the family, within the business, has their own agenda, right? And Marcel actually said it and showed it that there is an issue there. Right, and having that issue, it sort of creates this, this thing that I have a feeling. Like, to be honest with you, Derek, I have a feeling that that Marcel, as you said earlier, I have a feeling he's trying to. He's definitely using the ancients, the gods from the Nether, to help him reset his life, right? And I think that's what's trying to happen. So there's a lot more things we have to learn about Marcel and the Order, and how he's using his power to restart his life. There's a lot of family complex here that we have to unpack, and the only way we can unpack it, you have to keep reading. But I have this feeling that it's going to be a lot more deeper than what's being shown. Right.
Do you think that the Order's, or his obsession with, because they keep on mentioning that he's old and he's dying and everything, and he wants, I mean, that makes a logical sense to me, that he wants the gods to revive him or something to that effect. But then on the other hand, I would think, wouldn't that have been his plan with Theo originally?
It was originally, I think.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think that was the original thought. Plus, at the same time, too, you have to remember that Theo was working for Annie, and he read all the books, and he even said that my time with them is done because I know all of it already now. So I need to know the books from the Order to be more powerful. right? And I think that's the excuse that he's using to say, hey, I'm bouncing all over the place because you guys are holding me back, right? And now I'm saying, hey, you can't hold me back anymore. I'm more powerful now, so you can just leave me alone. So it's like a child that's like rebelling than anything else. It's like trying to jump between foster homes and trying to make himself bigger than he should be, right? Like that's what I'm saying. There's a lot more things that we have to unpack here. But the other question I do want to ask you is, do you agree or disagree when Mike said we have to kill Kevin?
That's an interesting question. I was going to sort of bring that up to you because I wonder if Craig's intention was to have this perception when he was writing, but the perception I'm having up to this point in the book is every 5 minutes, Mike is like, we got to send Kevin back. We got to send Kevin back, or we got to get rid of him. We got to get rid of him. Like, who cares? You're like a secret organization. Sure. Build the guy a house, put him in it, like let him live. Yeah, we got to send him back, but you could just set him up with another Sirtis team in a sort of a protective whatever on some field somewhere and send them to Antarctica or something. And you could, it's one of those things that I feel like is a problem that's made up because they need to make up the problem versus a real issue. And it seems to be out of Mike's character too. You could argue it's just from a security perspective, but I was thinking about it, and I think Kevin brings a lot to the group, and that interaction between him and Boots, where Boots is like very protective and goes up and they have that argument, and Kevin comes down with like a scratch or whatever. And Boots is like, we had a conversation.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's because, to be honest with you, Derek, when I read that part, my heart felt bad because my guts felt like this is wrong, right? And you're right, because Mike keeps saying that we need to eliminate this guy. This one is a bad. We have to get rid of Kevin. We have to get rid of Kevin. He keeps saying that over and over and over again, right?
Yeah. The only two things it could be is that Craig intends to use Kevin for a much more specific purpose later on in the book. So he's trying to develop that sort of sensation of, no, keep Kevin safe, or that he's simply looking to move Kevin back to the Nether so that he's out of the plot line. I'd say it's the first one where he's going to have some more central role in a little bit, but I'm not entirely sure at this point.
Yeah, no, we don't know either. And Kaz is definitely defending Kevin. And as you say, they can put Kevin somewhere else and to be safe. And the biggest issue that Mike actually has, I'm not sure if you caught this, is the biggest issue that he has about Kevin is they can't hide him. He's too big. So for him being an ogre or not being in that world, it's not an issue. It's they can't hide him. Right? So if they can't hide him, he became a liability. And
I that's why I make the argument, like, he's in a van, he's in whatever. Sirtis is smart enough or has enough locations or whatever, they could probably figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I find it to be a weak argument. What the argument should be is, if Kevin's going to stay with us, we've got to get rid of him or send him back, or we've got to put him somewhere for a while on ice. Like, that's sort of the mentality that I would take with it, right?
But here's the thing, though. It's do you notice? I'm not sure if you noticed. I definitely noticed this, that Mike has a little bit more. Mike becomes very pessimistic regarding their agenda. More and more, remember at the beginning of the series, Mike was very strong. He was like, he's very decisive. He knows what to do. He always has his 2 cents. He always have his 2 cents. Him and Isabel always runs the show. Do you notice that at the beginning, since last book, he started losing that ability to lead, because Kaz is more like, hey guys, we know this is happening, so it's time for us to move on. It's time for us to do something else. And Kaz is becoming more of a leader, because as soon as Kaz says something, before it was like, oh, okay, thank you for your opinion, we're gonna put that in the back pocket and be quiet and sit down. Now it's like, if Kaz says something, everyone's like, oh really? And Mike is like, why?
Mike's losing control here, and that you think that's why he's having a problem with it. Yeah, of course. Mike's losing control. I noticed a fair bit of it in the first few chapters. I think that the fact that Kaz just went off on his own, and this is not the first time he's done it, is starting to really, get under Mike's skin and so forth. And the development of the character. Remember, he has this religious experience, and he's gone into the Nether now. He's seen these other gods. He's fought them, and maybe some of that shine of religious vehement is wearing off, and he's just sort of reverting back to a soldier mentality.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, because if you have this thing that he holds so dearly, and it's sort of like, it's like a popping balloon, it's like, oh my gosh, I did not thought about this. I did not consider this. I was wondering why I never considered it. Like, I mean? He started, as you said, he's been questioning what is he doing there, right? I'm not sure if you noticed as well, too, when they had to separate, he took matters in his own hand to attack the Order, right? And when he found out it was not the Order, the first thing he did is, oh, crap, I didn't know that. I just went out to do what I need to get done. Right, and he was happy, and he was very happy with that. He knows what to do. He was very, very, very forceful. He was very decisive. But when they came back together again, when he found out, I'm like, crap, what have I done? I really want to go ask that Mike is like, hey buddy, is this an ego thing now? Like, I really question the character's ability, or I keep calling him the character's ability to make that judgment, right? So it's sort of like, if that's the case, good on. This is really good, because as a reader, I questioned it. I don't question the writing, but I question the character itself, right? So
what do you think is going to happen in the next few chapters then?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I really don't know. The only thing I'm hoping for is Theo doing a little bit more interaction with the Order. I want to focus on that side now, because I want to know more about Marcel. I want to know about the Order. I want to know about Theo. I want to know about Theo's mentality here. I want to know how he's recovering, and all that good stuff. And there's one part as well too that Theo says that. Not to be honest with you, I don't remember anymore. But to be honest with you, he's questioning a lot of things, and I want to be in that journey, him questioning it. How about you?
I actually completely agree with you. I don't have anything else to add beyond that. I think that's exactly what I'm looking for too. So that was a good summary there, buddy.
That's good. So thank you very much for listening then.
Join us next time as we review chapters 15 through 19 of Convergence Book 5, Desperate Measures. Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share a review. We love to hear from you. Send us an email at yourbookmarksinfo@gmail.com. Join us again right here where you left off.